Hey y'all, welcome to video 6 in Project 3030, which is 30 videos in 30 days. One of the purpose of my videos is that I want to help you understand and overcome things that could be holding you back from living your own adventure. Right? Oftentimes it may be easier to go out alone since you don't have to worry about other people's schedules, deciding where to go, if the other person has the proper gear or the experience, and there's no one to back out at the last minute and the adventure never starts. Has that ever happened to you? So there's a host of different reasons to consider going alone. I actually made another video that talks about why I go alone, and you might find that interesting. So I'll add it here if you want to come back to it. Now, we face a variety of hurdles that may prevent us from going alone. Sure, we do. Now, sometimes a hurdle can be convincing your family, your spouse, your friends, whoever, to be okay with you going along on an adventure, whether it be backpacking, paddling, maybe a small boat adventure, overlanding, whatever. Now, I've been there. Now, if that is you, I want to give you a few strategies to use in order to help whoever it may be to better accept the fact that you're going to be going alone. Now, first is to understand what they're concerned about, right? Are they worried about you getting lost, you getting hurt, other people? What about maybe it's your ability to complete the adventure, or whether it be your health or your preparedness? What I would suggest is to carefully bring up this question so that they can answer it to you in conversation so that you can understand their concerns and then determine a way to circumvent that concern that they're having. So when I first started doing adventures, my wife or my family might have been a little bit concerned. Sure, they were. But over time, I was able to make them understand that it'll be okay. You know, I'll be back and I'll be better for it. You know, I've been doing solo trips for years now. Most of the time these days, my wife doesn't even know where I'm going or what I'm doing until the night before or even the day that I'm leaving. You know, she just asked me to pretty much tell her where I'm going, just in case. So a lot of times I'll leave a note on the fridge or I'll shoot her a text or something just so that she knows, just in case. Now, sometimes I've even left like a map of my route and where I'll be launching and camping on the fridge. That always eases her mind when she really has no idea where I'm going. And if something does happen, she can just pop this up and be like, look, somebody go find Trip, right? Then there's those times when I'm doing something that people may consider to be a little more sketchy or dangerous. And that's when I still have to sometimes use some of these strategies to ease their minds and to get them to be cool with me heading off on the next great adventure. Now, if adventuring and adventures are something that you haven't really done before, then we can start with baby steps, right? Instead of going out and paddling 200 miles down a river for your first trip, plan something a little simpler that doesn't come across as dangerous to whoever may be concerned. Maybe you stay at a campground or somewhere close to home, you know, someplace you're familiar with, or plan a short, simple river trip. You know, just something easy with less assumed dangers. That way, you know, you're kind of diving into this thing, you know, nice and slow, and starting with an adventure that they're more comfortable with and not as worried about you on, and then you grow that. Then after that trip, do something a tad more ambitious, and then rinse and repeat until you make the real adventure that you want to do happen. Even the small and simple adventures are adventures, and they're enjoyable and they can change your life. So there's nothing wrong with doing those. Now, me personally, I usually lean on my experience and knowledge when I'm trying to, you know, convince someone. I'll say something like, look, this is something I'm able to handle. You know, I've done similar stuff to this in the past. Hey, I'm aware of the potential ways that things might get a little sideways, and I'm prepared for it. You know, I've got the right gear, I've got a capable vessel, blah, blah, blah. Something else you could do is explore ways to give them peace of mind, right? You can figure out if you'll have cell service through your adventure. You know, if you get on Facebook or ask someone who's been there and say, hey, how's the cell service in such and such an area along such and such a route? Then, if you know you're gonna have cell service, you can ensure those concerned that if you needed some help, you'll be able to get it. You could even set up certain times of the day when you'll be sure to check in with them and let them know that you're still alive, right? You can show them that you have a battery pack to keep your phone charged. Now, if you're not gonna have service where you're going, or you're not sure and they aren't comfortable with relying on that maybe I'll have service deal, you can grab yourself one of those, you know, spot GPS tracking devices. Now with those, you can set off like a distress call for help. You boop, press a little button, they know where you are and help's coming. But you can also send a few preset messages that the thing has programmed that will like send a text message and an email to whoever you set up as contacts and saying things like, you know, I'm doing great, I made it to camp, blah, blah, blah. And you can even do that when you don't have cell service. Now, the device even lets them track you on a map. You can go to a web page and see a map and see little points on the map of exactly where you are. So they can check in on you, you know, whenever they want and see your progress. That right there can give some pretty good peace of mind. If they're worried about you getting hurt, well, show them you got a good first aid kit. You know, go take a first aid class. You know, show them you know how to use this stuff. Show them that you have the proper safety equipment to get through the adventure. Now, if they're worried about your health holding you back, if you can, change that, right? Start eating better. Get to exercising. Heck, you should be doing that anyway. You know, it only makes your adventures and overall life better. So do it. So maybe you have some other factors that are preventing you from taking on the adventure. If you do, drop a comment below. I'd love to know what it is, and maybe I can help you overcome it. That's why I'm making all these videos. Now, if the thought of being out in the wild, you know, camping alone, makes you a little bit overwhelmed or nervous, check out this other video that I made about camping alone and overcoming your fears. Hopefully, it'll help you get out there. God bless. And I love you. Thanks for watching, y'all.